bloodied and scorned, tattered and torn, hanging on by a thread. With death at our door, the cannons still roar, we shall not bend. If the flag doesn't wave at the end of the day, what is there left to save? Tell me, what is there left to save? And if there's nothing left to save, it's clear there's nothing left to lose. I'll strike the match and light the fuse. Set me on fire so I can rise from the demons I'm keeping inside my mind. Into the flames, all that remains is what I needed to keep on believing. Once I'm back on my feet, once I'm back, city is asleep under my feet, sea of a billion lights. I'm taking a leap out of the stream into the purple heights. It's clear there's not a better view. I'll strike the match and light the fuse. Set me on fire so I can rise from the demons I'm keeping inside my mind. Into the flames, all that remains is what I needed to keep on believing. Once I'm back on my feet, once I'm back, sticks and stones, I know that I won't be broken. Highs and lows come and go, but I live in the moment. Sticks and stones, I know that I won't be broken, that I won't be broken. Set me on fire so I can rise from the demons I'm keeping inside my mind. Into the flames, all that remains is what I needed to keep on believing. Once I'm back on my feet, once I'm back,
시간이 됐지 않아 머리 굴려놔냈어 보여줄 테니 저 담담담담 긴장이 모두 다 get down 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 down
Yeah, 현재의 두 눈을 떠 막을 수는 없어 진짜는 마지막에 터지는 법 on the word 피할 수도 없는 도발 like thunder 대답이 아닌 내 답을 던져 wonder Wow 우리 달리는 산 Pow 뒤로 물러나 warning
기대도 좋아 이겨라지 teaser 예상을 뒤집어나 모두 다 기울여 한순간에 끌림 발걸음 더 tripping Back around back around back around back around 지나간 기억들은 더 깊이 down down down
만족은 몰라 난 방아쇠 당겨 till the end
숨을 깊이 부른다
거 다시 한 번 더 전원 GPS got my eyes on you
데려갈게 어디든 on the view
Show me what you got 위험한 침묵의 순간 통제하는 법을 몰라 Keep it low key 앞서갈 테니 내 뒤를 따라 follow 받아들이면 더 쉽잖아 shallow
You know what it is 경계의 눈빛
난 움직이지 My turn baby let's go Now just can't stop 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 Got eyes drip drop 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 From the bottom to the top 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 Oh yeah you know we're never gonna stop 한순간에 끌린 발걸음도 tripping Back around back around back around back around 지나간 기억들은 더 깊이 down 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 만족은 몰라 난 Wanna join me in the air 숨을 깊게 내뱉어 새로운 날 느껴 Get out my way I don't care what you got 아무도 날 막을 수 없어 my turn my turn my turn 기다렸던 순간이야 모든 걸 걸어볼게 난 가야 해 막다른 길이라고 해도 어때 Right now 다른 건 필요 없어 20, 20, 20 my beat hits 24/7 Get out my way I don't care what you got 아무도 날 막을 수 없어 my turn
Hello and welcome back to the Boosted Bozos talk show. I'm your host Erys. Tonight I'm joined by Trajan, as I forgot to pause the music, so now I have a different song playing in my ear. But yeah, I'm back. We're back. Oh, I'm back. We're back. Boosted Bozos is back for episode 3. I typed in earlier and completely forgot which one it was, and it is definitely episode 3 or week 3 of Erys runs down predictions once again. We'll get into that later because I love running down some predictions. Adabis, if he's in the chat, your record has been broken tonight. That's a spoiler. Enix is just too good. That's all I can say. But Enix isn't here. Adabis isn't here. I'm joined with Trajan. If you'd like to introduce yourself and give a quick fun fact, something that we might not know about you.
Sure. I am Trajan. I met Erys through casting. We both had the pleasure of casting a... What was it? Was it a Finnish?
Yeah. Was it
game?
Was it the Rakan mid game?
I think so. I think it was Rakan mid. There was a massive wombo combo involved. It was actually a banger of a game. I ended up using a clip from that game in my latest show reel. But
okay, nice.
So I met Erys through casting. I do amateur casting in the EU esports scene, and I am also a finance controller for an esports production company called ProMod Esports. fact about me, a fun fact about me. I guess a relevant fun fact to me for this is I have been to China once in my life.
Okay.
I lived there for 3 months at the start of 2018. And that is actually where I signed my first esports contract, where I was brought on to Team Liquid as a community manager for 6 months by the end of it, and I signed it about few thousand feet above sea level in a mountain cloud temple on the slopes of Mount Qingchengshan, in the
Holy.
outskirts of Chengdu. So
that is a very cool story, actually.
right.
That's something that I guess I definitely I don't think many people would know that, but that's actually just you've had more Chinese experience than I have, because I have never been to
Nice.
China, which is a fun fact about me. Which it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like I haven't, but I've never been.
Well, I can't flex on the LPL stuff, so I've got to find some way
Yeah.
in to get some sort of
You-
dominance here.
You have to flex the culture stuff. I have to flex my game knowledge
Yeah.
of how many times the Shy has picked ADC top, and I wanted to
Exactly.
stop watching. But anyway,
Exactly.
before we get into the meat and potatoes of the show, if you like the content, please drop a follow. And also, I will be taking questions from chat. If any chatters just want to drop questions in anytime, anywhere, just drop it in, and probably later on we'll pick up some questions from chat and throw them in there for good discussion, or just any questions you want to know about me or Trajan. But yeah, so this is an LPL talk show, but I like to get to know the background of my guest's League of Legends history. So, where did you start with League of Legends? Were you an early boy? Were you in the alpha, or did you come in a bit later on?
I came in a bit later on. I started playing in season 2, and I started playing ranked in season 3. So I've been playing regularly ever since then. I started paying attention to esports for League in season 3 as well, where I watched because that was when the LCS started, right? The EU and NALCSs came in season 3, I believe. So that's when I kind of got involved, because they had a bit more structure and a bit better viewing experience there. And that was kind of my first real foray into watching esports of any kind, to be honest. So yeah, it's kind of been regular since then, and I was just like a fan watching the EU and NA leagues for a while. I got into casting a couple of years ago, so I had like a bit more of an in-depth angle on it. So now I pay a bit more attention to the lower leagues in the EU scene. I mean, you had Enix on last time. He's kind of in a similar position, like he's directly involved in that, so he naturally has a bit more tabs on things like NLC, the UKLC, etc. But yeah, that would be how it is. I mostly just spent the time running it in ranked for a few seasons, but now I'm pretty heavily invested, I guess, into the esports at all levels.
Okay, but I mean, who doesn't run it in rank now and then?
I mean,
we do love a good. I'm tilted.
Yeah.
I'm just going in, which is
legit. The last ranked game I played last night, I was playing Siege with some friends, and then I was like, okay, I've got time for one more ranked game. So I jumped in. I ended up playing Ziggs bot lane. I went 0 and 8 and 2, and I still won. And I was like, it's over. I'm done. This is no more games.
You're just too good at the game. Like they couldn't
Give it like 5 days break after that one. I didn't deserve to win it. I shouldn't have won it.
It's one of
a
those
sign.
It's one of those games where you feel filthy, but you're also like, haha.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
laughing inside, like, aha, I got that. But anyway,
Yeah, outskilled.
you started in season 2. You went to ranked
Yeah.
season 3. You paid attention to more the esports scene and stuff. So back then, season 3, season 4. Jesus, that was a long time ago. But did you have any favorite teams back then? And do you have any favorite teams now? And
Yeah.
you may some people don't have favorite teams. They mainly have favorite players like Faker,
Mhm.
Impact.
Yeah.
Mine come from the LPL, but like, do you have any like players or teams that you were fans of back then? Like, and
Sure.
also why? Because like, there's also this weird draw. Like the reason I like IG so much is because I don't know. For every game I seem to watch of international outside of LCS was IG, and I was like, who
Yeah.
the hell is this team? And why am I liking their jungler so much? Why is their
Yeah.
support so good? And then they win worlds that year, and I'm like, I'm a fan. I've supported them.
Okay.
Always. So I guess I'm a fan now.
Yeah, that'll seal the deal, I guess. Okay, so the team. This is probably it's a controversial answer to give, but I do have a backup, better answer that's more defensible.
I'll take both.
The team that I first supported was TSM. That was the
Ooh.
first esports team that I ever supported. and it's because of Bjergsen. It was a player thing. It's because I really liked Bjergsen when he went over there. I was spamming the hell out of Syndra at the time, and he was like an absolute god on Syndra, so I was watching to try to get better at like his champion pool. I was maining mid at the time, so I followed him, and I was just really respected how great he was. And that's kind of developed into the TSM because they were super dominant at the time as well, right? It was really easy to be a TSM fan because they just won every season until Cloud9 showed up a few years later. So I was pretty big chillin' being a TSM fan back then, just like, man, they're all just mad because we're winning all the time. And then over the years, it's become, why do I still support this team, man? Like,
Why am I a fan?
why am I torturing myself when I'm like grown up now? I'm a professional. I know how professionals should act, and they don't act like that. So I just it's so ingrained now, and I think I understand now how people feel when they're like, I always support my team even when they're dogs or even when they're like getting fined and penalized and stuff. And I was like, why would you not just switch? And I don't know, man, it's just something in the human brain, I guess. So there's still a TSM fandom there, but the correct answer to give for me is Team Liquid. Because they're like NA, but all the best parts about NA. So they've got like the style and they've got the professionalism and the kind of grandeur that they can bring, while also not being kind of douchebags all the time. And they're not breaking rules left, right, and center with these ownership scandals or whatever. And they're also like funneling loads of money into esports, and they've got these great facilities. Now they've got amazing players and amazing teams. Like, when I briefly worked for them, I got a sense of how they work on the inside. A brief one, like an outside one, but some of a sense. And I just really respected the way they worked. So when I joined Liquid, I was not a fan of Team Liquid. I did not give two anythings about Liquid. But once I left that 6 months later, I was a fan, and I've been a fan since, just because I really respect the way that they work and they run. So in my heart, the answer is TSM. And in a TSM versus Team Liquid match, I'd still probably go TSM. But like, if I actually care about, you know, the opinion of who I'm saying this to, like, really deeply, I'll be like, oh, I'm a Team Liquid fan, guys. Yeah, let's go Liquid.
I mean, watching LCS, I started really with 100 Thieves. So it was the 100 Thieves Team Liquid 2018 series, and I was like, yo, I don't like this Team Liquid team because they're spending a lot of money. Even though even though they didn't actually spend that much money back then, they spent a lot more now. But now I just look at it, I'm like, I respect this team. Just call JJ just makes me like, yeah,
I know.
You know what? Yeah, I like this team. I can't not hate it.
I feel like everyone has to respect them now, because like, as you say, like, they got Core JJ and tactical bot lane. There's no double lift drama anymore. It's the most wholesome and probably also the best bot lane in the league. Jensen is like completely reformed and is just so consistently good. Like, Santorin, everyone loves Santorin. Alfari is like a new quantity, and I really like Alfari as well. Not just because he's UK, like got some UK reps at the top level, but he's also like really considered, and he's quite respectful, but he's also confident in his ability. I just think he is like a model right now for pro players.
He's that guy who's like, oh, this guy needs a team after the Misfits 2017. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Get this guy a team, and now he's gone to Team Liquid, and it's like, oh, he has a team now.
Yeah, maybe we can actually get something done here, because he had to sit in the Origin pit for like a year.
Too long.
That was rough, man.
But we're here to talk about Chinese teams. So
yes,
early memories of Chinese teams. Can you remember? Is there any stick out? I know a lot of go-to answer is OMG, LGD 2015 that just ran it down at Worlds. Royal Star, was it Royal Starhorn or Royal Club? The Uzi's old team. Like those teams, everyone sticks out to them. But is there any players or Chinese teams? If it is just them, just say it. Like, there's no wrong answer.
The first time that I remember going like, okay, LPL has arrived was EDG at MSI. When they took it with Deft, I think, and they took it down, and they beat SKT in the final or whatever, and I was just like, oh, there is a fourth region now. Like, there's definitely a fourth region now, and they're not messing about. And that was like the beginning, I think. That was the first harbinger of the era we're in now, where the LPL is just clowning on everybody.
Well, that's quite funny because 2015, EDG win MSI, and then LGD go to Worlds.
Yeah,
and it's like, this team's gonna win Worlds, yeah. Oh, 06. Why?
Wait, did they miss the plane? Did they miss the flight, guys? Anyone know where EDG went? Dang.
Well, that's such an LPL thing to do. It's like, yeah, we're the best team, we're the best in the world. Yeah, we're just gonna win worlds. Next thing, we're just gonna run it. We're gonna hard run it because we don't care. I'm picking Renekton and I'm going in, and you're not stopping me. But yeah, so EDG 2015. That's Clear Love, that's Def, that's I think was it Mako? I'm not sure. I can't I want to say
so.
I want to say Mako was on that team because he's been at EDG for so long that it's like I just look at him as like, okay, you look at like EDG, it's like, okay, Clear Love, but then you also look at Mako and it's like, okay, he's also the face of EDG. You look at IG, it's Rookie, RNG was Uzi, or now you can say Xiaohu or Ming. It's like, oh, each player has a face, but now Clear Love's return. It's like, okay, Mako is not the face of EDG anymore.
Yeah, that is. I think Mako was one of the early ones. It seems like where like we have these like really strong group of Chinese supports as well, and like when supports weren't getting that noticed in professional play, like anywhere apart from maybe Aframu or something, but like. When Mako came to like the international competition, we were like, man, supports actually can just carry your whole dang team.
Yep.
Like they can actually be the trigger and the go button for your team. It doesn't have to be the jungler. It doesn't have to be the mid laner. Well, it can be like a support, and Mako is so good for that. It's
quite an interesting like point about Chinese supports. Like I look around, I look at like LCK, and it's like, okay, you've got Carrier, you've got Beryl. And then you've got like a few others, like Vista's kind of nutty right now, but like he cannot be. Lehens is kind of dropped off. It's like there's like 3-4. You look at the LPL and it's like that role, and it's like, holy crap! You have like so many different players and so many different styles, and it's like any of them can just carry your game. Like even like players like Yuanja, people like to clown on him, but I've seen that man carry a game. And it's like, obviously, it was probably, I think it was against Rogue Warriors, which doesn't really mean anything, but he still carried the game. I'm giving it to him. But like, the Chinese support role is, I think it's probably one of the most like stacked roles. I won't say most boosted roles because a lot of supports aren't actually boosted. It's mainly the ADCs that get boosted by the support. But now I want to ask you if you have I won't say a favorite Chinese team because I don't know how much you watch LPL, but is there like a team you have a fondness to? Like, I know a lot of people have a bit of a fondness to FBX and Suning just because of everything. But do you have one?
I don't think I have enough to say that I have a definite favorite for sure. I don't know enough about any of them. I like fondness wise, I think I don't know if I have a fondness for any particular team so far. I had a fondness for Doenby because I also played Nautilus mid, and like just he seemed like such a fun dude and like completely breaking the mold in the way that he played, the way he operated. I had a lot of respect for Doenby. But in terms of Chinese players, like obviously you have to respect Uzi, but like I never really connected with it that much. I don't play ADC, and when I do not play Vayne likes, you know? That's attack speed is not my bread and butter. So I was just like, man, I have no idea what you're doing right now, dude. It's I know it's insane, but I don't know how to understand it. So I don't know if I could say really. I don't think I have enough. Maybe that's the point why I'm here today. Now I can actually maybe get enough knowledge to pick one and to learn why I can actually.
You're not gonna pick one. We're gonna be going to the wheel because this leaves a good segue. Because last week, we forgot to do it in first week, and so we did a double wheel last week because Dabis was in chat. Dabis is now a Suning fan, and Enix is now an E-Star fan. Now I don't know if you know much about E-Star, but they're a fun team. They can be good, but so now I've got 17 teams in the wheel. I'm gonna switch over to the wheel. We live and die by this wheel. If the wheel tells us to do something, we have to do it. So right now, I'm gonna spin this wheel, and it's gonna tell you the team that you are now a fan of. Like I've taken this from Soccer AM. I don't know if you watched it back in the day, but if they had an American guest on the show and they didn't watch English football, you'd have every team in, I think, from the Premier League down to League 2 in a hat, and they pull it out, and you'd have like an American guy that's fan of like Harrogate Town now. Like that's how it goes. So I'm gonna click this wheel, and it's gonna tell us who you're gonna be a fan of.
All right.
Pause champ. Pause champ. Okay. We can't have another Suning. The wheels told us we have another Suning fan.
Easy. I mean, I get to be a fan of the second best team in the world now. Easy peasy, dude.
What the hell? I will say, I misclicked earlier. I clicked on it just to make sure like it was working properly, and it said BLG.
Yeah.
So I think I broke the wheel. So
Nice.
it could have been, you could have had BLG, which has aiming, which would have been pretty fun. But now the wheels decided you're a Suning fan. What do you
I'll
know?
take Suning.
What do you know about Suning? Other than they went to World's Finals.
Okay. I know that SOFM is still there, right?
Yep.
The jungle master, the mastermind, from the VCS, or whatever their abbreviation is, but the Vietnam League.
It's VCS. You are correct.
Yeah. So obviously Sword Out left because they're on TSM now, baby.
Oh what? Oh wait, that's actually insane.
Yeah, they
got the
joined
team-
my other team.
Jesus.
It's so easy. Okay. What else?
You know,
I'm trying to think if I can remember who stayed and who left.
Their whole team stayed except for their coaching staff and obviously who was called Owo. He was at Worlds. He's now the starting support. He's called SN On or Snon as everyone calls him.
That is a terrible name.
Well, because his name is just On, but like the SN from Suning and in China they don't have the space between the abbreviation and the name, so it's just Snon. It's quite funny.
Oh boy.
He's not bad. He's a good Chinese support. But
Sure, we'll take that.
you have the whole team. You got Bin. You got Pentakill Master in the top lane.
Nice.
Omni Stone Connoisseur. You've got SOFM who's going to take your Raptors whenever. Angel who's actually been playing out of his mind a bit this year.
Yeah.
And also Huanfeng who was I don't know if you know about Huanfeng in the off season, but it came out that he was cheating on his girlfriend.
Yeah, I heard the drama posting about Huanfeng.
That was quite interesting because everyone was like, "Huh, this guy has a girlfriend."
Yeah, he went from like a 16-year-old, is he even old enough to be here, to like, man, dude, where's my second side chick at? I don't want them to meet at the party. Like, what? Damn.
And I think the best thing about Chinese League of Legends is like his team will comment on it, like his players, and like I think it was like Bin or SOFM. I think SOFM was like, "Oh, I'm impressed by him because he's usually in the practice room until 5 a.m." And I was like, "Okay, he's doing something." But yeah, that's Suning. They have been around for a while. They used to have Maple. They used to have SMLZ. If you know SMLZ, they had, I think Hacker was on the team at one point. But yeah, they had a weird area in before last year where they bought over Sword Art and Maple from Flash Wolves and was like, oh, and they got SMLZ from OMG, and it's like, oh no, they got SMLZ from somewhere. I can't remember. He was on OMG before, and it was like, oh, they have a really good bot lane. And it wasn't a good bot lane. It was far from it. Maple regressed from like Flash Wolves Maple to like who is this guy? Like why? And it got so bad that they subbed in Angel. So Angel was playing top lane for a little bit, and then they sub in Angel, and they're like, okay, no, this guy's mid main. We're putting him mid, and like they'd signed Soda. This was in summer. They'd signed Maple, and it was like, oh, they spent a lot of money on him. But then they put him top lane and then released him in the offseason. Like, that shows how good Angel was compared to him. Like, that that was so brutal. They also had, I don't know if you know about the V5 PP God story of summer last year where they almost made Worlds. But they had...
I remember following like the hype train because I follow Munchables. I already followed Munchables on Twitter, and he was like standing harder than. I think I've only seen you stand harder for any LPL content above him, to be honest.
That was a beautiful story of PP God appearing. But they also had 3 loanees from Suning, Weiwei, Bubu, and Samdi. Samdi and Bubu, I think, went to they went to. No, Samdi's on TT, Bubu's on BLG, and Weiwei's back at went to V5. They've all left soon.
Yeah.
They all were loaned and then they got sold. But yeah, that happens. Also, I'm a bit annoyed because IG sold Suning Huanfang because they told him because we saw the story goes. I don't know if this is fully true, but I think it's a good story. It's one day like the Jackie Love thing's happening. Where is Jackie Love? IG want to get Jackie Love. And then RNG are like, "Here, Jackie Love, here's money." And Jackie Love, I want more money from IG, or his cousin said that, his agent was like, "I want more money." And then it didn't go well. But at the same time, Suning were like, "Hey, IG, can we buy Jackie Love? Can we have Jackie Love? Can we?" And then IG was just like, "Can you shut up? Have Huanfang. Just take him. Just take him."
This guy.
and then Jackie Love doesn't resign. It's like, well, we don't have an ADC anymore.
We just gave away like the hottest new Jackie Love on the town, Huanfeng, and now we don't have any Jackie Loves.
And now we have no Jackie Loves. We have to go get Puff. We have to give away Forge. It didn't go well. I mean, it went well. We almost made wars, and we have Wink now, so I'm not complaining. But that was a saga to read. The whole where is Jackie Love? I'm glad it's not happening this year because I genuinely would just lose my mind again. But talking about recent results and recent LPL things, have you been watching any LPL this season?
Unfortunately, barely any. I have a really busy schedule now, what with working full time and casting, etc. So the time that I have to watch like stuff that is, especially stuff that airs early during the day, is limited. I should not be watching LPL when I'm at work. I probably could be, but I don't because that would be a bit of a.
It's also on very early as well, like 9 a.m. to like 1 p.m. So it's not.
And by the time I'm done, like time to check that many games. Like when I saw that it's every day.
Yep.
Like, what is happening? I have no idea how the casting team can do that. There's like 6 of them now, right? There's 3 pairs. Like. Even that, every single day, and their BO2s, BO3s, like, they are monsters. They're machines over there
and
to get that done.
What's also insane is the Munchables, Dagda, and I think someone else is currently in Europe, so they cast together as a 3, and then the other 3, Hysterics, Clement, and Lyric, they all cast together as a 3 as well. So like they don't because their time zones are different. So there's like you have 6 people, but there's like 2 groups of 3 until the other 3 can go to China, and then they can all like link up and cast properly. So it's like shout out to them. They are going crazy with that. But you haven't watched many LPL games or any LPL games, but I did ask you to watch one LPL game.
Yes.
What was the game?
It was V5 versus Rogue Warriors from last week.
Okay, so I personally didn't watch that game. Not because I didn't want to, because I had a lot of stuff going on, and I was just like, I can't watch much LPL, so I have to be selective, and I was like, I'm just going to watch the big games. I did that this week, so sorry, I can't really back you up on anything you say, but you going into the game, based on the team names, Rogue Warriors and V5, what did you expect? Did you expect anything?
So I knew who V5 were, and I didn't know who Rogue Warriors were. So I was like, all right, V5, they almost played Worlds last year. They're probably favored going into this one, right? They're feeling pretty good. But I didn't know anything about how they play, really. Like, I knew that PP God was like a big name now. Everyone who's on Twitter and League Twitter knows who PP God is now, and I thought it's because he's like a wild man or whatever, and he's just doing crazy stuff.
It's just a name.
But as it turned out, he's actually just really good.
He's really good, but it is very like much his name is what got him fame, but also he kept it because he's just a solid support. He's not Balan. He's not gonna go in 1v5 and be like, hey guys, let's go. He's like, nah, I'm just gonna play this nicely.
Yeah, but from that game, because that's like the most detailed I've watched LPL like in a long time, was like watching that series, watching like the 2 games, not having it second monitor or anything like that. I was like, okay, just focusing on this, and I was like, dang, PP God is actually really good, and a lot of other members of V5 looked really solid as well. I must say, I feel like Rogue Warriors made it a little bit easy with some of the drafting decisions here. For starters, we had a B1 Renekton, which is like an XD. As a side note, is that a dead meme, or is that like actually still?
So the thing is, in China, everyone jokes about B1 Renekton or R5 Renekton. In China, that's not a meme. That's a legit thing. Like people,
that's the lifestyle.
Because Renekton is such a good champ in China. Like and like if you the only thing is there's like 2 people you don't want to do that to in front of. It's the Shy, and I would say Naguri now. It used to be Khan, because they would just straight up pick Quinn and be like, haha, enjoy lane. Whereas now it's like, okay, it's only really the Shy. I'm not sure if Naguri's gonna do it. He'll probably do Kennen, but yeah, it's mainly a meme everywhere else. In China, it's not a meme. It's a legit thing.
Yeah, so we had the real B1 Renekton, and like when Worlds was happening, and like so much chat on the like armchair analyst scene was like, oh, B1 Renekton, lol, this drafting is so bad, why are they picking this? And I just can't help. I couldn't help but feel like, well, they did it and they won again, and they did it and they won lane and the rest of the map again. Like, there's got to be some reason here. They're not just all insane and bad and stupid. Like, I feel like if they're picking it, they know what they're gonna do with it, and they obviously did because they smashed everyone with it. And like, people would be one renexing all the time, then they'd get flamed in Twitch chat for 5 minutes, and then they'd be winning 5 minutes after that, and it's like, okay, I don't really know why this is a meme because it doesn't seem to hold any water in the real world. But I mean, I'm not a color caster, so I can't really like stake my reputation on that claim. But I just thought it was quite funny how it always seemed to fall down as soon as Renekton actually came in. So they had to be all Renekton, and then right after that, there's like Nidalee's banned, Pantheon's banned, every other like good jungler is available, and Rogue Warriors pick Lee Sin. Harrow just slams it.
Yeah.
And it's just why is this happening? This is not the time.
I'll now give you context. Harrow plays whatever he wants. Like
it seems like it.
He studied on the clear love, so he has the EDG rep, and he would just be like, "Hey, you banned Nidalee? I'm picking Lee Sin. Deal with it."
I mean, he slammed it. He windmill slammed a Lee Sin, and then I guess Weiwei just takes Graves. Like, all right, dude, that's fine. The rest of the draft is like fairly standard. You know, like Zoe versus TF. I feel is very standard. Apart from Mole getting Zoe, which as the cast developed, I was like, man, they shouldn't have done this.
Yep.
He's
very good on that channel.
This seems like something they could have anticipated, and boy, did they feel that one later. But like, as the game progresses, Mole's really good and like just having a good time, but Lee Sin is just falling behind Graves and he's not getting in. He's not doing anything. And I'm like, if you're gonna pick Lee Sin with Galio, if you're gonna try and do Camille Galio but with Lee Sin, you've got to get in. You've got to be doing that. And he's just like chilling. He's just farming, having a wee look like, nope, can't do anything here. Back to my Raptors. Sorry, see you guys. Have fun with that one. And they just like fall behind. And it just feels like he never gets it, never finds a way to get it done in game one, and the draft diff is just incredibly heavy. and V5, like, they also seem just like a well coordinated team, so they can just like, well, we've got the better champions, we're just gonna like run down the flow chart of how to play this game, and we're just gonna win. So
that game was a 2-0 in V5, right?
Yes,
that's what I got down in my notes. Okay. Yeah, Enix. Yeah. If you know what Enix, I see you in chat. If you know what you predicted, you know your result. I'll get back into his prediction later. But so it's going off Rogue Warriors. They've had a huge rebuild. They basically let go of their entire roster other than Harrow from last year. So they picked up Forge, XIG, a young mid laner, XVG Gaming. Crap, I forgot their top laner. They have a top laner. Can't remember.
Ziv is currently Rogue Warrioring. In top lane, so they got the LMS import as well.
Now you see
AHQ Ziv, right?
Yeah. Now you see why I forget who their top laner is. He shouldn't really be playing in the LPL. Honestly, he's no offense to him, he's not that good. They also
seems to be struggling.
They also had the young ADC playing, but I think they benched him after 2 games or something, and then sent him down to the young team, which is very funny because they were hyping him up. They also got Chocho, who used to play on TS. He was part of the TS team that went to Gauntlet Final in 2019 and lost to Rookie because Rookie decided to go God mode on them.
No shame in that one.
Yeah, it happens. Sorry, Knight. But yeah, he was on that team, and then he was also playing ADC. He was the starting ADC before Jackie Love arrived at some point. I think Photic was, and then they put Chocho in because Photic was so bad, and then they were like, oh, we have 2 supports in the bot lane now. What are we gonna do? Let's sign Jackie Love. But yeah, he was used to be on TS, so he has a bit of experience. Obviously, V5. We all know V5. Mole. He's such a good player. I don't know if you've seen the clips of him. I don't know if you know Shanks from WE, their new young mid laner. Obviously, you probably don't. Basically, Shanks beat him and get in their game one. So Mole picked Syndra and just into a Victor and decided to solo kill Shanks like 4 times on the tower. And it looked like Mole hated Shanks. Like, he was doing it on purpose. Like, it was like, there was like trades where he's like, he just runs at him with Phase Rush, and it's like, Mole, please stop. Like, just stop. You're hurting him. Stop. This is bullying. Just please. But yeah, Mole gets like that. If he gets a champion he's good on, oh god, it could be a wash for him. But yeah, how did you enjoy the game though? Was it actually a fun experience? That's all that matters.
Yeah, it definitely was. It was when like everyone like who comes in as a new viewer to the LPL seems to be like, okay, so I expected it to be all crazy fights, and then sometimes it is, and sometimes it isn't. But then when I came in here, like what I saw probably what felt like the real world version of that, like on a lot of these games, where it seems like they're not actually just running it down into each other all the time, and whoever like comes out the top wins. But it just does seem like when they start a fight, the fight is going to be concluded. No one is going to be like, okay, I'm done with this. Like, I don't think we're going to win this anymore, so I'm just going to dip and you guys can like have this dragon or whatever. They're like, no, we're fighting over this, so I'm going to fight over it, okay? I've committed to my decision, and like, if that means flashing out and then ulting back in on 1 HP, I'm going to do it, so you better be ready.
Yeah,
that's just like their way of resolving conflicts. It's not to like concede ground where necessary. It's to like, okay, so now we've started a fight, so now we're gonna do that, and we're gonna run it to the end, and let's see if we win it. We didn't. Oh well, better find a better spot for another fight then.
To be fair, a lot of LPL games are like that. Like this season, because it's usually before the Lunar New Year break, which is coming in about a week and a half. So it'll be like a 2-week break. The LPL just goes on break because Lunar New Year. But yeah, before then, usually teams are kind of just doing anything. Usually this period of the season doesn't really. It's just like a preseason of the like. It's like we had preseason Demacia, but now you have a preseason again with the full rosters, and a lot of teams use this preseason. Like this is where E-Star were just smurfing on everyone, and they come back and it was like, oh, they didn't smurf as hard again. Whereas players whereas IG and stuff, they usually just come back and they just start hard stomping everyone because a regular season IG is a different beast. But yeah, that's usually what happens. So like teams like Rogue Warriors, they sometimes will experiment things now to use later on, because as long as you're not too far off the group, you can get into playoffs, because it's a 10-team playoff in a 17-team league. It's possible to make it. But then you have to do a wild gauntlet run from 10th seed, and you have to go through literally everything, and it looks the I don't know if you've seen the playoffs. It looks insane, and I'm ready for it. My whole body is ready to watch IG get exited in the first round to the 10th seed. I'm so ready for that, because that's what my team likes to do to me. But we're gonna
everyone was hyping up the miracle run from Schalke, but the potential for miracles in the LPL is just unprecedented.
One thing with LPL is every split, like spring and summer, like different split, there's always a different team that seems to just appear. So like in spring 2019 it was spring 2020 it was E-Star, summer 2020 it was V5. This time I haven't actually checked, but I believe like there's some teams in there, like I think BLG have just appeared out of nowhere, but they have a solid team. But it's like some teams have just kind of appeared, and it's like, oh, this is a good team. LNG, they're one of them. Yes, they have Icon and Tarzan, but it's still like they have Miyuka top lane. Now, I don't know if you know who Miyuka is, but he ain't good. I say this after he killed the Shy twice in lane. But he's still not good.
I mean, we've seen the Shy, we've seen the highs and the lows of the Shy.
I've witnessed them so hard. Yeah. But we'll move on, because we've done we've talked about the homework that I set you. So now I have to set
the only other thing to go over that homework. The only other thing that I need to say is that Weiwei is an absolute giga Chad, dude.
Yeah.
This guy on the Udyr game 2, he's no fear. It's like the LPL distilled to a point of ridiculousness. How just like coming for your lunch money this guy is at all times. I loved watching his Udyr play. It was so hype.
Weiwei, that's a really fun player to watch. But we've got to set the homework for my next guest next week.
Yeah.
So we're gonna consult the wheel again. Now I have.
Yes.
Now the thing is, usually I pick 3 lesser games, but there's this time I decided to spice it up.
Oh,
I threw the FPX IG game on there because this could be a terrible game. The thing is, this could be a 2-0 stomp for FPX. I'm just gonna put that out there. But there's BLG LGD, EDG versus V5. Now my guess next week, I can kind of leak a little bit. They are a big EDG fans, so I kind of hope it goes EDG because I want to hear them. Because the EDG are top and they're waiting for EDG to fall because they know the EDG meme of, oh, EDG are good. I can't wait.
Guys, they look so good.
I can't wait for them to lose. Like
this is the year, guys.
No, they're not like that. It's like they're expecting them to lose at some point. So against
Really?
B5 would be the funniest thing to have them talk about their team losing. So yeah, we click the wheel and we pray for an EDG game. Now I don't mind any
Yeah.
of these games. Okay, it's gonna be FPX IG game, as expected.
Yeah,
Davis
scripted.
Davis, what do you mean, pause champ?
Yeah.
So this is a scripted game. Now, I'm going to have to talk about this game for sure at one point. But yeah, FPX IG will be the game. And you will have to predict the result of that game later. And also I will. But we'll get on to predictions in a moment. But now I wanted to talk about a little bit of like, more like nuance? Is that the word? I'm not sure. Like more about like you as a caster and how you like when you watch a game, are you watching like meta stuff? Like I know you're not a color caster, but are you like so like you know how like metas are different regionally? Like LCS and like the Western meta is a bit different to the Eastern meta, and Chinese meta is just its own thing. It's just its own chaos of Renekton's. But do you notice any difference in the Chinese meta? Like I know you only watched a few games, but like even at Worlds, do you like notice like things where you're like, huh, why are they doing that and we're not doing that? Is there anything that like sticks out to you?
I think it tends to just boil down in my eyes to the fact that LPL can play with a lot more confidence in themselves. I think a lot of teams are trying really hard to find ways to either prop themselves up, especially in NA teams. It often feels like they're trying to cover their own flaws with their drafting, but you know, to make success, and the best success that they ever had was a team like C9 who can believe in themselves and be like, nah, I'm gonna play Xin Zhao jungle or whatever, and like we're just gonna roll it. And actually doing that, and like vitality as well, like where they're just like, now I know what I want to do. I feel great at this, so I'm gonna do this. And a lot of other teams, I think, fall into this trap of trying to cover their own flaws. Whereas LPL feels a lot more like, I know what I am great at, so I'm gonna do that super hard at you.
Hence,
And then like
hence Harrow picks farming Lee Sin.
yeah, exactly. Except that Harrow doesn't seem to be super great at Lee Sin from that game. Maybe off game, maybe it's an off game. I mean, V5's a tough opponent, sure, but you know, it's the wrong time for this pick, and maybe that's where the LPL could fall down at some point. You know, like when the meta is in its place right now, after a long preseason, a lot of changes, it's pretty fixed at this point. There is like 5 junglers you can play with 2 like pocket picks that aren't terrible, and like all of the roles have kind of condensed. Like AD carry is very condensed right now into like 4 picks that are actually worth picking, and that kind of tends to happen around Worlds as well because it's so long. It's like a month on the same patch, right? So people kind of settle into these patterns, and I feel like maybe if there is a meta where the LPL can't exploit their strength, they might suffer quite heavily just by not being able to like adapt in some way. But I think that, you know, there are exceptions to that rule as well. Like FPX, who were just kind of doing what they wanted, and they were just kind of rolling people with different comps and different styles of play that they kind of didn't conform to the rules. So the LPL skill cap is so high that I think at some point they can maybe just skip over potential rules like that. But
I can't lie, I would probably expect an LPL team to be like, oh, this is the meta, I don't care, I'm picking Renekton.
Yeah,
shut up,
yeah,
it's
like
mine.
I'm still a Renekton god,
they
will
will just hard force whatever they want, and
yeah,
honestly, I respect it, and that's why I love this region.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
it can be a complete mess. But so now I wanted to ask a little bit of a funny question, because there was a rumor coming in the off season that, pardon the pun, upset me. With IG upset.
I remember that.
With being IG, and I was generally just wanting. I was like, if he goes to IG, I'm quitting. I'm just leaving.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't happen. Also, the season before there was Xerxes rumored to go. Now I believe Shadow is going to the LPL, but he was on EDG Academy when he was younger. So he's Chinese/European, so he's like a half.
Yeah.
So, but sure. I believe he said he's going to China or something like that. Don't fully know. But what I wanted to ask, why do you think Western players aren't going to the East, and do you think it would be possible at any point, or like is there an easy answer, or is it a very complicated issue?
I was thinking about this earlier because LPL shares one unique characteristic with the NALCS that no other region has, and that is the willingness to import players from other regions at a drop of a hat. If they see a talent somewhere else, they will go, right, we want this guy. This guy is sick. Have you heard of Deft? I've heard of Deft. We're getting him over here right now, or whatever. Like they'll if they spot talent, they will buy it. I think they have demonstrated that. I think it really comes down to the fact that, at least partially, what you said, I believe in last week's show, is that all the Western players are crap. So they wouldn't buy them because I think they honestly, in most cases, feel like they just don't meet the standard that they want. However, in a 17-team LPL, I think that's not true. I think a lot of Western players would be incredibly successful mid-card team members in the LPL, and they maybe would potentially benefit from being in this more liberal environment, this freedom to do what you want kind of environment in terms of drafting, in terms of gameplay. So I think that it would really benefit the Western players to be able to do stuff like that. I think if Shadow's going over there, that's really interesting because he was more of a proactive, explosive player, and I think he could thrive in that environment like the LPL. I mean, I don't think that the Western players don't have the mechanics in all ways. I think it does come down once again to like their confidence in themselves, being able to make those plays when they're up against it and they're up against these like big name teams. So I think that it could happen, and I think it will happen. I think there will be times when EU players go over to the LPL, and I think that, as I said, the LPL has demonstrated that they will buy talent if they think it's worth it. I think that they don't think it's worth it right now, which I think is incorrect. I think there are a number of Western players which could improve a whole lot of LPL teams that they'd be on.
I think one issue I see it sprawl up in chat about Perks did have offers from LPL and LCK, and I think that's because it's Perks. Like Perks and name is worth a lot. But also, someone said culture is a big thing. Now, personally, I don't believe in a way, League of Legends and esports have kind of blended a lot of culture. Now you see like players in LCS, they'll go for Korean barbecue. They'll do Korean things. Like they will do like that kind of stuff. Like, and they'll go eat like, I know it's just food, but like that's part of culture. And they also like listen to the only big barrier is language. But language, there are ways to get around it. And if you're willing to go to China as a Western player, I think you're willing to learn Chinese. It's not that hard. It's hard, but it's not that as hard as you think. Like we have casters that know the languages. Like obviously they've been out there. Like the LCK guys, most of them know Korean. I think Raz knows a lot of Mandarin. Kelsey also knows a lot of Mandarin. But like that's like, if you've got willingness to go there, you'll probably learn it.
Yeah, and I think that when it comes to communication in game, you don't have to learn how to form a grammatically resonant sentence. You need to learn terminology, which you can pick up quite a lot because you're playing the game over and over, you're repeating it over and over, you're hearing it over and over, and you just need to be able to get your point across. When you're talking in your own language in comms, you're not doing full sentences, you're doing brief, clear signals to your team. Otherwise it doesn't work, even if you are fluent in that language. So I think you don't have to learn the full language, you learn how to communicate in that language in game, which is not going to take nearly as much time. And I think that when I was over there, I wasn't playing in an esports team, so I don't know what the culture is actually like within those facilities, but I mean, I did not feel unwelcome there. I think that like when you mentioned about Korean barbecue as well, like a lot of the culture around how Chinese people live and socialize together is very welcoming and very inclusive of everybody there. It's very kind of equal playing field. So I don't know how much problem there would be. And if Perks goes over there, this is a world-class, globally known talent. I don't think they would be like, why do we have this white dude here? Like, what's he doing? He doesn't know how to play the game. I just don't think that would happen at this point. I think that the leagues and the LEC especially has had enough success internationally to have the respect that it would deserve in that league if a top LEC player went over to the LPL, and I don't think it would be that much trouble. I think they would need to be, right at the start of the off season, potentially working on stuff like language and that like beforehand in their own time to get a bit of a sense of it so you can jump in quicker. I think you need a lot of time to learn that kind of snap decision making and speech in another language where it just comes naturally to you. But I think it's possible. I think it's very possible, and I think it's going to happen before too long.
Or like I think also with language, we always talk about like, okay, this player needs to learn the language to live, but it's also like what people don't understand is that the team will also learn the language of that player. Like, I can only really talk for IG and I also know FPX. I believe Tian speaks Korean, but I don't know why. I can't fully tell you exactly why, but I believe he knows a lot.
Not?
But like IG, when the Shy and Rookie came over, Balan and Puff are current. I know Balan's been learning Korean for about 3 years now, but Balan and Puff they're learning Korean. I believe Ning spoke a bit of Korean. Not a lot, but that's Ning. Ning is his own entity. He doesn't practice League. He doesn't do he does whatever he wants. He's
like Wonder. He just doesn't practice solo queue whenever he just vibes.
He doesn't like playing League. He doesn't like doing anything. He just wants to chill with his sneakers, which is fine. But like language goes both ways. Like players will learn the language of you as well as the player. So I think like obviously I believe like English to Mandarin instead of Mandarin to Korean is like it's different. Like it's a lot easier to learn Korean from Mandarin because of the tones and stuff. But also I think English isn't the hardest language to get a grasp of. It's
enough of a grasp that you need for sure.
Yeah, it like I mean, as native English, because I can't say that I'm fluent in English because the language changes every day. But it's you can grasp it pretty easily. You can get a very basic understanding, and I believe like if you are Perks and if you go there, it's like that team. You are probably gonna be one of the franchise players on that team because. Yeah. That team knows your worth to the Western audience. Now, immediately you have Western sales, you have Western eyes. So the team are going to produce content around Perks. And it's like, okay, the players probably like chill with Perks. They're going to probably start learning English and making jokes of him. He'll probably learn Mandarin and or whatever language is being spoken in the team because there's actually a lot of different languages being like I think some players speak Cantonese, some speak Taiwan, like the Taiwanese mix. Also, I believe. Just obviously, So FM's there. He speaks Vietnamese. Like there's a lot of language. There's a lot of language going on in that league, but obviously not a lot of English. But we've seen it. We saw Yamato go over to LCK for his split of his coaching, which was a very cool move. But just to finish up, we'll move on because we've been on this topic for a while. Yeah. And to round out the show, it's prediction time. Now,
okay.
Dabis, if you want to get your pause champ ready, because I will switch to the scene. Yes, the guests are now 12 points up, and I am at 5 points. Now, if you don't know what happens here, we predict 5 games. The 5 games that are shown on screen were the games predicted from last week. You get 2 points for an exact confirmation. So, like, let me flip over. So the first game. OMG versus RNG. It was a 2-0 to RNG. Luke and I both predicted 2-0s, so we both got 2 points. Then I decided to say Suning gonna 2-0 FPX and FPX 2-0 Suning. So Luke grabs 1 point, I get 0, and then we both get Luke gets the V5 Rogue Warriors 0-2. I go 1-2 for V5, so I get 1 point. Then JDG versus RA. Now, I usually go for a little bit of a gambit here because I know how the LPL works. My gambits haven't paid off. Every gambit I've done, I'm currently 0% on the 3 gambits I've played. So I don't think I know how this league works.
His gambit style is not working out.
Yeah, I need, but the thing is, I need points. So
you do.
after what happened in week 1, but I have 1 point to 4, and I mean Luke actually hard smurfed, but he went for the JDG 2-1 against RA. I went for the 1-2 to Red also because I'm a little bit of a fan of that team. So yeah, I got 0 points for that. And then Luke gets the 2-1 for Rogue RNG versus V5.
That's big brain.
Which is actually huge because I predicted 2-0 because I genuinely didn't think V5 were going to have a chance in that series.
Yeah.
And yeah, that gave Luke 7 points across this week. Not 7. It gave him 8. It gave him 8 points across this week.
Insane.
It gave me 4 points, and it puts it 12. Yeah, that's 8 points. Yeah, good. Thank you. Why did you think you got 7? But yeah, 12-5. So now we have to predict games. Now we have a confirmation that we're gonna predict the FPX versus IG game. Now I will say it when it comes up because there are a lot of games happening before that game. So it might be like the 4th last game we predict, but. I choose this at random. I have the schedule open up on my monitor to my right. The first game I see is BLG versus LGD. Now, do you know anything about BLG or LGD?
I know that LGD was good once and then seems to have been consistently ripped for a long time until last year when they finally rocked back up to Worlds and were noticeably the worst LPL team, but still did okay.
Yeah.
And like ran it in play-ins and like scraped out of them and then barely were okay, let's let's start playing the game now, lads, and got out of groups. But like I think that so LGD, I know that like there's always this hype. They're always supposed to be good, but they rarely are, it seems. And BLG, you mentioned before that they're actually like maybe a bit of a sleeper.
They're actually a pretty good team
right now,
which is really incredible. Also, I will preface, LGD literally have no player from the roster from last year. They all left.
That was Uniboy.
I think Kramer's
yeah.
there. Yeah, Uniboy.
Yeah.
I'm a Uniboy stan, but like, get him out of that team.
Uniboy's Pog.
Please save him. Save him, please.
Yeah.
Also, Garvey. Please save Garvey. They're two good players. Get him out. They're trapped in Elo hell. So that my prediction is going to be 2-0. Now I'm going to ask for a prediction for you. 2-0 to BLG. That's what I'm going for.
Let's see BLG right here.
Actually,
I would say the BLG. They got Mark. Meteor, Zika, Aiming, BB. I would say that Bilibili's names are definitely cooler, and LGD, apart from Uniboy and Kramer, a bunch of Humegalols. So I think we're gonna have to go for BLG. I'm gonna go 2-0. I was considering maybe just being different and going 2-1, but no, we'll go 2-0 BLG.
You're going for the points. That means the lead. If it gets correct, the lead's gonna keep correct.
The name of the game here, now that I've got this massive lead off the back of
just
these incredibly big brain guests, it's lead consolidation. Okay, I don't need to make crazy plays now. I've got the lead. I'm 10k up at 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I just need to walk the lanes.
The thing is, right now I have the shied my lane so hard that I'm so far behind. Yes. So now I have to call my mid laner. Hey rookie, please save me. Please do. And that's what I have to go for with the IG thing. So now the thing is, you could just match all my predictions and we just nothing happens.
But I won't do that for sure. I won't do that.
No, but I'm also a wild. I'm also a big wild card when it comes to predictions. But we're actually gonna go for a banger game right here. RNG versus WE. I'm gonna ask for your prediction first before I tell you mine. I've written mine down already, but
this looks like a tough one. Because it seems like potentially the only reason WE even has a better record is because they've played more games. They're both X and O, right? So, and like he told me that Shanks is looking pretty pog champ, but I know nobody else on WE, and WE always seem to be this like, we're also here, guys. You know, we're pretty good, right? Don't forget about us.
I will say,
shut the hell up, WE.
I will say, Beishang is probably considered the best jungler in China right now.
Hell yes.
So I will give you that. So you're not gonna Humegalo Beishang because you will get a lot of people coming for you.
Well, look, we won't go that far. So RNG did 2-0 V5, and I thought V5 looked pretty good versus Rogue Warriors, right? So they're looking pretty tasty. But WE, I'm gonna go with 2-1 RNG.
Oh, 2-1. So that means one of us is probably going to get 1 point, the other one's going to get 2, because I went for a 2-0 RNG, because I believe that Shanks is going to get bodied in the mid lane. I witnessed this boy. I witnessed this boy get actually. I feel bad the amount of times I've seen him get literally bullied on the Rift, but
obliterated.
It's like, okay, Shanks, you're still a rookie. Like, we're giving you time, but I feel bad for you. Like, this is brutal, but I see it's going to happen again. Now, the big game. I mean, there's actually loads of big games this week, but FPX versus IG.
Yeah.
I think we all know what. Actually, the thing is, I can't bet on IG because last time I bet I had to shave my head. But I'm actually gonna bet on IG this time. I'm going 2-1 IG. But this could go either way, and I'm gonna let you go off whatever logic you want to go for. Whoever wins.
I mean, I think you're a bit of a psycho for this pick, honestly, mate. Like, I'm looking at the FPX roster. And I'm liking it. I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing here right now, Eris. Like, just the same as before, but plus Nuggery in the top lane. How's Bo doing? Are Bo and Tien, is he even on the Rift, or is Tien still just...
So Tien...
Because he's had health problems,
right?
Yeah,
Tien is taking a competitive break. So
Yeah.
no word when he's back, but he's gone. But he's not there. Bo is playing. Bo, I watched his first series. It was very much Leyan like. I don't know if you ever watched Leyan's first series. He basically got kind of like hard smurfed on for like the first few minutes, and then somehow recovered, and they won the series. And then he played like a really solid next game, and it was just really weird. But it seemed like a guy coming into a team and trying to figure it out. And he seems to click. He seems to definitely click. So it's not a void in the jungle.
Because I'm looking at their results here. They've 2-0'd E-Star, the greatest team in the league. They've 2-0'd wait, who is this here? FPX. They 2-0'd Rogue Warriors. That's not that much to crow about, I guess. They 2-0'd Suning though. So they 2-0'd OMG. Like, I'm liking the results that I'm seeing out of this. I just looked at OMG and they're 0-4. Oh my goodness.
Yep.
I'm liking the results out of FPX. So I am gonna take FPX and I am gonna go 2-0.
Okay.
Because I think Doembi I think that this man has the tech to survive the onslaught of Rookie's pure aura. And I think that Nuguri is gonna make the Shy look like an absolute chump.
Well, there's a meme going. I don't know if you saw the memes going around on Twitter like last season. There's the whole Naruto Ningruto, where Ning is Naruto, and TS are the Akatsuki, and the Shy is my guy, and Rock Lee is Naguri, and now it's Sensei versus was it? No, it's I don't know what it is. Whatever. It's the teacher versus the student in the top lane.
Yeah.
And last time this happened, the Shy picked Jace and decided to solo kill Naguri under tower, and it looked personal. He got killed. Like, they traded 1-for-1, but it also was, and it looked personal. It looked like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you, and yeah, your tower's gonna kill me. I'm better than you. And I mean, if the Shy wants to do that again, as long as he's not running down the game, I'm happy to see it. He got a quadra kill today on Quinn, so I'm pause champing, but I'm also like, he's playing Quinn. Why? But it was also a Renekton, so I'll allow it. Yeah,
that's the one reason that you would pick that champion.
But now, we go for another banger of a game. TS versus JDG.
Ooh. JDG. So JDG kind of... I feel like JDG just never really got, like, enough of a look in Worlds. Like, everyone was, like, hyped out on top, and then... forgot about Suning, and as soon as Suning were really good, everyone just forgot about JDG and were like, okay, so now Suning is, my best friend. And JDG were like, no, but they're not top though. Like, they have Jackie Love, so... And they were still really, really good. And I'm looking at their roster here, they've still got Xie, Kanavi, Zoom, Loken, Lumao. Like, this roster seems very experienced and like they're mostly still together. I can't in good conscience, though, support a team with Yagao on it because I hate Zoe so much. I hate Zoe players. I can't support them. That's why deep down it would hurt me to be a V5 fan because of Mole. It would tear at my soul.
So you can't be a Rookie fan. You can't be a Yagao fan. You can't be a Mole fan.
Not a full one. No, not a full on fan. I respect Rookie, but anyone who plays that much Zoe is in my bad books, unfortunately. So, we're gonna wait. Who are they against? JDG versus
TES, Top Esports.
The TS. Okay, so we're gonna go for Top Esports here. I am gonna go 2-1 because I think JDG, despite the fact that I hate on their mid laner, I think they're very good. And like, if they don't get at least one game, I will be shocked and awed.
I've actually gone the opposite. I've gone 2-0 JDG.
Wow.
Because I see Zoom as this like all-empowering top laner. Now there used to be the thing on LCK where it was like the four kings of top lane. It was like Summit, Doran. Nah, in the LPL it's the Shy, Naguri, and Zoom. And 369 is like there, but not there as well. Bin is also kind of like 369 and Bin are like the ones that are gonna be there. They're waiting for the other ones to leave. And honestly, the Shy, he runs it as hard as he can. But when the Shy plays, he does whatever. It's his game. But Zoom, he's so good. But it's like, I think he's like one of the most underrated players I've ever seen. Like, this guy will hard smurf 1v9 a game, and people were like, damn, their mid lane is pretty sick. And it's like, did you not see him just kill their whole team? What? Yeah. But like, he's gonna. I mean, also you have to bet on 369 rolling a 9, because if he rolls a 6 into Zoom, he loses. If he rolls a 3, he's just instant lost.
The game's over.
Yeah, he has to roll a 9, otherwise he's doomed. Which also rhymes with Zoom. But the final game, EDG versus V5. Now, are you betting on the Zoe Savant in Mole, or are you going for the Viper, the king?
I felt, because like with EDG, like they've got Scout in the mid as well. Like I don't think this guy is gonna be losing to a mere Zoe player. Like have you seen this guy? So I am gonna go EDG and I'm gonna go 2-0. I think V5's number is up right now, and I think that EDG are gonna take them and put them right back down in the mid tier where they belong.
I do like how you go for Mole and like talking about Scout and stuff when Viper has like, I think they've had 6 MVPs. I don't know how many MVPs they've had, like player of the games or player of the series.
Yeah,
Viper has 50% of them for EDG.
I think that's just meta, dude. This is ADC meta right now. Kaiser's not an okay champion. Jin's not a fair champion. I think it's just ADCs are having a ball frolicking in the meta at this point.
But yeah, just to run through our predictions, just so everyone knows. First game, BLG versus LGD. We've both gone for 2-0. RNG versus W. I've gone for a 2-0 for RNG. Trajan's gone for a 2-1 to RNG. FPX versus IG. We split. I go 2-1 for IG because I'm an IG fan. If I bet against them, then what am I doing in my life? And Trajan's gone for 2-0 for FPX. TS versus JDG. It's a 2-0 to JDG for me, 2-1 for TS for Trajan, and finally EDG versus V5. You heard us talking about. We've both gone for 2-0 to EDG because Viper diff, and also Zoe plays in mid lane. That's predictions done, and that rounds us out of the show. Now, is there any questions in chat? If anyone wants to throw it, if there isn't, that's fine, because that means I get to go to bed early. Which sounds incredible. At 7 p.m. Erys is going to bed.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to give a shout out Enix. He didn't understand like how like he was like, I don't know any of these teams. I'm just looking at the rosters I'm picking, and he bodied me.
Yeah.
I didn't just get like beat. It was like the down one gaming 20 minutes at Worlds game.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus Christ. When I look back through it, I really just I think I should retire from predictions at some point, because
wasn't it JDG that got walked on in 20 minutes? I think
it was G2
by down one.
It was G2 by G2.
Oh, was it?
I'm sure it's G2 by down one. Yeah, because they had the Rift Herald in the inhib at 16 or something. It was ridiculously quick.
Someone in chat can maybe confirm. I think if Melvin Hills was in there, he probably knows. He knows all these. He knows all the world's references history.
There's also the fact that what was I gonna say? My mind just decided, you know what? Oh yeah, I mean, I was casting a game the other day, and I was like, "Yo, this guy is such a good player," and then he ints. And I was like, "I really like what they're doing here," and they int, and I'm like, "I'm just a curse. Anything I say, the opposite happens." I should have predicted. I should have predicted against IG. Damn it.
Caster curse is a real physical phenomenon, I think, at this point.
No, I don't think it's a caster curse. I genuinely just think I'm cursed. I'm just a cursed image at this point. I don't exist. But yeah,
well, you've already had your IG Worlds win, so you like the world is just like, you've had enough. You've got your win.
No more fun.
Now you're a curse. You've had all the positive energy you need. It's all negative now.
I mean, it's also the life of being an IG fan. They'll be good for the whole regular season and then run it in playoffs for like 2 splits, and it's like, hey guys, we have to go to Worlds, right? And then I have to sit for a Worlds gauntlet run once again, getting ready to go to play-ins. Oh my god. If IG were in play-ins at 2020, I would have lost my mind.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for coming on the show. I hope you had a good time. I hope your LPL knowledge has expanded. I hope you've had a little bit more interest now that you're a Suning fan. I hope you get to watch a few more games of LPL and take interest in them. And honestly, if you are gonna watch any LPL games, I would definitely recommend going and watch the FPX IG series, because it will be a banger.
Yeah, for sure. I'm invested in there right now. I put a lot of faith in my boy Doan be in the mid lane to withstand the onslaught, and I want to see him do it for sure.
If he gets solo kill, what's gonna happen?
I'm gonna cry, dude. I'm going to weep on cam.
But yeah, that's gonna bring us to the end of the stream. So thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for chilling for the past hour or so. I think it's been just over an hour now. Thanks Trajan for coming on. We'll be back next week. Same time, same place, same everything. If you want to come chill out and watch, you know where to be. I'm not sure what will be happening after next week because of the Lunar New Year break. I believe there'll be one more show and then I'll go on break on this because I can't talk about LPL when there's no LPL happening unless there's drama. Please LPL, give me so much drama. Just give me like Rookie just punched the Shy in the gut, and I get to talk about that for an hour. Like that.
Wow.
That would be an interesting story, but I don't think that's gonna.
Be amazing.
I don't think that's gonna happen. Seeing how nice they are to each other. But yeah, let's bring us to the end of the stream. Anything you want to say, Trajan? Just final thoughts.
That's can I plug myself?
Yeah. Plug whatever you want.
Sure. If you want to follow me on Twitter, I am at CJ_Trajan. I am currently casting the UKEL, it's the second division semi-pro league in the UK, and also the Baltic Masters, which is the top of the Latvian, Lithuanian, and Estonian region. Hell yes, bottom seed EU Masters region, but man, the games are insanely hype. First stream was yesterday. I'm going to be streaming casting that one tomorrow. Come and check it out if you wish. And hope to see maybe you guys join in the chat for casting, and obviously come back next week for more erys content, because who doesn't love erys content?
Thank you. I don't love erys content sometimes because I have to watch this back and be like, why did I say this? But yeah, thanks for coming on. It means a lot. Also, thanks to everyone, all the chatters, all the gangsters, all the Enix dominating erys and predictions once again.
He's too good.
I'm gonna be depressed. But yeah, thanks for coming out, and goodbye.